Hi, welcome back. So we're going to read the story today titled, What Presidents Are Made Of. So let's go ahead and check out some of these photographs in here and see what this book's all about. What Presidents Are Made Of. George Washington was the first president of the United States. Abraham Lincoln ended slavery. Franklin D. Roosevelt led the United States during World War II. But what were the presidents like? Did they make jokes? Did they play with their children? Here's a look at the presidents from George Washington to Barack Obama in moments that don't usually make it into history books. Catch a glimpse of Washington fighting fires, or Clinton living life to the fullest, or Jimmy Carter helping the homeless. See the characters of the men who have lived in the White House. See what presidents are made of. Presidents are made of good deeds. In George Washington's time, there was no fire department. If a house caught on fire, everyone nearby was supposed to help to put it out. But just a few months before he died, at the age of 67, Washington was riding on his horse down the street when he heard that a fire had broken out near the market. He jumped off his horse and began to pump water to pour on the flames. When people saw the first president fighting the fire, they ran to help. Presidents are made of comfortable shoes. Thomas Jefferson hated stuffy formal manners. He wore shabby clothes and muddy boots inside the White House. Officials from other countries were shocked when they met him in his dressing gown and slippers. Jefferson even let his pet mockingbird fly free around inside the White House. Presidents are made of hot tempers. Andrew Jackson fought in several duels, mostly with people who had insulted his wife. In one duel, Jackson was shot in the chest. The bullet was too close to his heart to be removed, and it stayed there all his life. A man who once dueled with Jackson said simply, "I had a fight with Jackson. A fellow was hardly in fashion who didn't." Presidents are made of humble pie. Abraham Lincoln loved puns and funny stories and even made fun of himself. Many people thought he was ugly, and Lincoln agreed with them. When someone called him two-faced, Lincoln answered, "If I had another face, do you think I would wear this one?" Presidents are made of speed demons. Ulysses S. Grant loved driving his one-horse carriage fast, sometimes a little too fast. One day, a policeman who didn't recognize the president stopped him as he dashed through the streets of Washington and gave him a $20 fine for speeding. Grant paid the money and wrote a letter praising the policeman for doing his job so well. Presidents are made of endless energy. Theodore Roosevelt studied judo, rode horses, rowed boats, played tennis, climbed mountains, and hunted in Africa. He had pillow fights and played hide and seek with his children, and he always wanted to be it. Roosevelt said, "Don't fritter away your time. Create, act. Take a place wherever you are and be somebody. Get action." Presidents are made of greatness. William Howard Taft, our heaviest president, weighed more than 300 pounds, 3 times as much as our lightest president, James Madison. He was so big that he got stuck in the White House bathtub. Taft had a new one put in that weighed a ton that could hold 4 average-sized people. Many thought of Taft as jolly because of his size, like Santa Claus, but actually he was miserable being president. Afterward, he became a judge on the Supreme Court, a job he liked much better. Presidents are made of fun and games. Calvin Coolidge was so little that his nickname was Silent Cal. Once, a woman sitting next to him at dinner told Coolidge that she had made a bet she could get more than 2 words out of him. "You lose," he told her. But calm, quiet Coolidge rode a mechanical horse for exercise every morning, whopping like a cowboy. Presidents are made of picky eating. Even though Franklin D. Roosevelt was president, he couldn't control what he served for meals. The White House housekeeper was a terrible cook and insisted on making things he hated, like broccoli. Even a special occasion didn't mean she'd serve fancy food. For a luncheon celebrating Roosevelt's re-election, she offered chicken salad, rolls without butter, and cake without frosting. But Roosevelt couldn't bring himself to fire her. He would just fix himself an egg salad sandwich if he was still hungry after the meal. Presidents are made of lifesavers. John F. Kennedy served in the Navy during World War II, and his boat was sunk by a Japanese ship. Kennedy saved a wounded soldier's life by taking the end of the man's life jacket between his teeth and towing him through the water to an island 3 miles away. When he was later asked how he became a war hero, Kennedy answered, "It was absolutely involuntary. They sank my boat." Presidents are made of all thumbs. Richard Nixon had a secret tape recorder in his office, but since he was terrible with machines, Nixon made the recorder automatic with no buttons to push. It turned on as soon as anyone started talking. Later, Nixon and the people who worked for him committed crimes and lied about them to the public. But the tapes recorded the truth about what had actually happened. Those tapes forced Nixon to resign and leave the White House. Presidents are made of glamour. Years before he became president and before he married his wife, Gerald R. Ford, a handsome former football star, dated a model. Together, the two of them posed for a ski weekend layout called A Weekend in the Life of the Beautiful People in Look magazine. Ford had a copy of the magazine, but as he said, it's not something you flaunt around your house. Presidents are made of helping hands. Helping people is important to Jimmy Carter. He taught Sunday school while president, and afterwards he decided to spend his time doing good for others. Carter travels around the world trying to make peace between countries, and 1 week every year he builds houses for the homeless for an organization called Habitat for Humanity. Presidents are made of sweet stuff. Ronald Reagan loved jelly beans and kept a jar on his desk to share, but he tried to keep his favorite, the coconut ones, for himself. Reagan was the first movie star to become president. After college, he worked in radio and then the movies, and soon became famous. In one movie, Bedtime for Bonzo, he starred with a chimpanzee. Reagan used part of the money he made for making movies to buy his parents a house. Presidents are made of 2 left feet. George Bush met his wife Barbara at a dance. He wanted to get to know the woman in the red and green dress, but he was too embarrassed to ask her to dance, so they just talked. At their wedding, George finally danced with Barbara, but warned her that she'd better enjoy it. He would never dance in public again. Presidents are made of enthusiasm. Bill Clinton does everything full tilt. He loves to eat. People have seen him chew up an apple in a few bites, skin, core, seeds, and all, and gobble up an entire pie without even using a fork. He also loves to read and play jazz saxophone and to talk. One of his teachers in grade school even gave him a C for raising his hand too often. Presidents are made of sports fans. George W. Bush is the first president to have owned a baseball team. Before he was president, he bought a share in the Texas Rangers. Bush loves baseball, but he didn't buy the team just for fun. He paid less than $1 million for his share and sold it later for more than $15 million. Presidents are made of hopes and dreams. Barack Obama learned one thing from family stories about his father. The key to success is believing that you can succeed. Whatever Obama takes on, getting good grades, shooting baskets, or running for president, he's confident about his chances. His wife's brother says that Obama plays basketball the same way he goes through life. He's confident, not afraid to shoot the ball. He wants to try and win. A presidential timeline. Here are the pictures of all the presidents from George Washington to Barack Obama. Of course, we have had a 45th president, but this book was written before he became president. So it's still fun to look at all the different presidents that we've had. And that's it. So what did you guys think? Now, I'm not going to say this book is illustrated by anybody because no one drew anything. What they did was they used things to make the presidents. items. So I would call the person who made this book an artist because they used a different type of art to do all of those pictures. So it was pretty neat, and that's about it. I hope you guys liked it, and we'll talk to you later.